And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another amazing night of the Crossfade Gaming Tournament. Tonight's feature match will have Chrysalis versus blanking out on teams right now. Sorry. Fishing Rod. Right, and loading this game. Sorry, it has been a long day. I wasn't supposed to be the original caster. I will be your play-by-play and your analyst for the night. So, as you can already tell, give me a little bit of a slack. With our amazing producer and owner, Commissioner Storm. So first up, we have them playing on the most amazing map in the great city of New York, Midtown. Cannot hear me at all. So you didn't hear any of that. Sorry, people were having technical difficulties. Our producer just got a new computer, so I guess he's working out the bugs. As I was saying, we're heading into Midtown for our first map. And let's see what the teams are going to be running here. Yes.
All right, I'm switching my audio. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we're having a little audio bugs. As I was saying, we're going to go off to our first map of Midtown in the great city and state of New York. Yeah. So tonight's roster, we have on Chrysalis, starting on the damage, Chrysalis, Mr. Mike. On tank, we have Starry Knight. Support lineup is Red Mudkip versus NCT. On the sides of Riding Lotus, we have Kami, Vulcan, Bluth, Aurora Cake, and Pink Berry. Awesome. So these two teams have kind of had a rough start. Rising Lotus is 1-1 and Chrysalis is 0-2. So right now it is Chrysalis' game to kind of bring back their chance of having a good playoff run. And Rising Lotus just trying to solidify getting a better position once we get into the playoffs in a couple weeks. So we will be starting on Midtown. And as we can already see, it looks like Chrysalis is playing the favored of Orisa here with a little bit of a rush brawl because we're running the Kiriko and the Lucio as well. Once we see what their DPS picks, we'll be able to get a better stat. But looking at their opponents right now on defense, Rising Lotus, it looks like it might be in their favor because this dive-ish poke that they're going to be running here with the Winston Reaper should get melted down by the Orisa with the Kiriko's help. Now, of course, it's going to come down to which Kiriko is able to get their cleanse off better, and if Vulcan can find really good railgun shots on the Soldier. Chrysalis going down the back hidden alley, trying to maybe get a little early start, little easier poke, get them right on top of Rising Lotus. Although, looks like Mr. Mike didn't know exactly what to play, so he's trying to get the Reaper going here. Maybe there's a little scout going as well. Alright, and the fight commenced with just a little bit of poke here. Kami trying to just hide, see if they can get that flank on the Reaper, but not able. Mystic able to get across. Starry using cooldowns. They're going around to this back corner, trying to force the Winston into a very bad spot. The Wraith was forced from Mr. Mike, but look at this. Bluth is getting pushed back thanks to the Orisa. Starry forced him to use the Fortify to stay alive and sustain, and does get taken out early. It looks like Chrysalis might have to back out here for this early fight. Not a bad first take from Chrysalis, but just good cleanup coming from the side of Rising Lotus. Yeah, Gizmo, we're going to see this. That was probably the right strat, trying to get them in there, but they really needed to Winston take the bait to jump into the hallway. But Bluth just did the right decision, just kind of, taking a little poke at a time, was able to get Starry to force out. They really need to make sure they run down on them. Starry does switch over to the Winston to try to get this mirror matchup. Now it's going to be a difference between the Sojourn and the Tracer. Who's going to be able to get more value here? Is the Railgun going to find the easy early picks, or is Tracer going to be able to find the one clicks? And he's just stalemate right now under the bridge. And finally, Starry and Chrysalis making the move. Starry dives in, doesn't find any follow-up. But Volcan with a nice double headshot with the Sojourn ult. What a great fight by Rising Lotus's Sojourn player here. They only had to use one ult. They'll have 2 ults, 3 ults technically in this next fight. While Chrysalis still making the swaps, missed. Got off the Tracer, switches over to the Soldier. So we're going to see here now they're going to be able to find the same kind of value that Rising Lotus has instead of running the Tracer here. Starry's got kind of a follow-up because she's going to have this Winston dive with, but it's going to come up to her and Mike just getting it under in sync. Alright, so Chrysalis finally taking a different strat. They're going up into the train. This is not something you normally don't see running the Winston dive due to the narrow spaceway. CT kind of forced out. It's going to be forced to TP out. That's an early cooldown that you don't want your Kiriko having to use. And now they're trying to rotate down. Looks like it was a fake out. Tsusune comes out from the sides of Chrysalis. CT trying to find some damage. Gets the counter Kiri. But Kami with the Death Blossom does find it. Both Lucios are down. Rising Lotus has no support. And they're able to find Mr. Mike on the Reaper. CT just begging for his life. Backing out. And it looks like even with the Extreme Rush and finding both supports, Chrysalis is going to be shut down once again on this fight. And it looks like it's going to come down to one fight. What a great play. Kami being able to find Red in the back with it. But now Red has a free aggressive beat they can use. Starry's going straight to point, just ignoring all that's coming their way. Mike flanking in the back, trying to get out the monkey, and gets blues. Starry finds out the follow, and Mr. Mike pops the Death Blossom, finds the Lucio himself this time, and it looks like Chrysalis will finally get point A on Midtown. What a great rush. They had the ult. It was great play coming around from Chrysalis. I mean, but nothing to Rising Lotus, so they were able to really kind of stagger out their abilities and stuff, and they will get a recontest here. And it looks like it might be coming up. Miss is going to probably be forced. Yep, using his ult, tries to find one, is missing shot after shot. Finally gets a nice air shot onto Akiri. Volcan getting the second ult, and it looks like it's going to be a early in for Chrysalis attack here. They're not going to be able to get nothing but 2 points, almost a full 3 ticks. But Vulcan just getting some more clutch up on the ult. And with that, Red not able to touch, and it looks like round 1 is looking very good for Rising Lotus.
0-0.
So Chrysalis had the ult, they had the ability, but they just didn't pop it. It might just be a little bit of a warm-up for them right now. They were able to really communicate in that second half of the attack and get the percentage, so they still have a really good chance of winning this. I mean, 99.9%. I would take that as far as this map has gone. It's been a very hard map decision, especially now that we've had the changes in the meta with the Hog change and a couple other characters as well. So it's really trying to find a ground. You know, I think in the past, Chrysalis and other teams as well have been running a Mercy, but with that change to Mercy, it looks like they weren't able to do that on the attack. So now we will see them coming out with Mist on the junk, Mike still running that Reaper, and everyone else still in the same play. And you know, it looks like Rising Lotus was like, hey, we did very well on the composition we were. I don't think we need to swap it, and I would agree, if it's running correctly, then you need to. But it might be a little harder to run that onto the defense because we do have Miss on that junk, which means more capability of knocking back the dive. Bluth won't be able to dive in as easy, and also Kami on the Reaper might get melted a little quicker.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
So now Rising Lotus is coming under the bridge, trying to take that early, advantage. It looks like they're going to go far left hallway, which is not a bad decision as far as they're looking, except for the fact that they don't know Miss was on the junk, and it looks like they decided to swap it up. So now it's just trying to get some early poke, trying to get that charged rail gun. Not able to find anybody on the shot. Bluth forced to use the bubble early. Rising running to the point, but automatically getting caught out. by Chrysalis, just getting pushed them back. They're forced into the room. Kami's just, you know, kind of fish out of water here, and Blues is able to find Mist, but the passive of the Junk is able to find the Soldier, and right now it's an even fight. Blues is trying to get these picks. Mike's putting pressure onto Blues, gets him down to 1. Able to jump onto the Kiri, but is going to be taking out Mike with a good follow-up. And it looks like this, Rising Lotus is going to have to back out because without their tank and without their main damage, it's a lost fight. Yeah, how unfortunate for Volk to get caught out by the Junk passive. I mean, we gotta love to see that, everyone. You know, not very rare you get to see that. The Junk, you know, little trip mines just fall down and get the pick. So it's like, hey, you got me, but I really got you in the end. Alright, Chrysalis just trying to do some early poke. Oh, and what a great pick from Miss. The RNG Junkrat to the rescue, staggering this fight out even more. And Kami getting low, having to back out. Looks like they were TPing and gets caught by Mr. Mike following up. And with that both damage out, it looks like Rising Lotus is once again going to have to slow down their progress. And Chris is looking really good as far as the ult economy comes across. Pretty much everyone should have their ult mid-fight if a big fight daggers on to the next fight. So Chrysalis is looking really good. But you know what? It's fine. There's still 1 minute and 56 seconds left. We do have Rising Lotus pretty much on par with the ult charging, so as long as we're able to not lose anybody here, and gets the early pin on Mr. Mike, that's huge. But the Riptide comes out. Is it going to be able to find anybody? Starry does find the Lucio. It's an even fight right now with the trade favorite inside of Chrysalis. The Tire's not able to find any boost, is able to survive and back out and regroup. Here comes out the Kasune from Rising Lotus, but Mystic able to take out one star, able to take out the DPS, and it looks like this fight was not going to be good. I mean, it's just Aurora trying to keep up the Winston, but not able to, having to back out and just force the dive. What a great play coming out from Chrysalis, able to take not only the tire and waste a lot of time there, which is probably more value than they would just getting a pick, but finding both DPS and also forcing Rising Lotus to use the Kasune Rush and not getting absolute value out of it. Now they did, but Chrysalis did have to use their own Kasune Rush to kind of mirror match it, but it's fine. Now you've got the Primals online, you've got both Lucios will have beat for this next fight, which might be last fight depending on how long it staggers out. It's really going to come down to see if that Sojourn is able to find a strong early pick. Now Blue trying to dive on, but Mr. Mike finds the Lucio. Tommy does trade on the dive, and there goes Starry. Uh-oh, things are not looking good for Chrysalis. There goes another one. Chrysalis is down too many. The beat judge does come out. Mr. Mike finding 2. It's even. It's 2v1 right now onto a point. Kami's trying to get red here, but is not able to connect the last shot they need. Mr. Mike forced to use Wraith to survive alone. And Mr. Mike getting low, and now finally Chrysalis is coming back. CT with amazing Suzu keeping that team alive. Blue's getting taken out, and it looks like Pinky not able to get that beat drop just in time. And it looks like Chrysalis might be able to hold out here on first point Midtown to take the first map. It's just clean up crew. There goes Pink once again, and Volk's going to try to get this last second touch, but it's not going to matter with a huge tire coming in. Both the ball and the Tracer just staggering out on the end fight that shouldn't even be worth trying, because there it goes. Finally, Chrysalis is able to take Midtown. What an amazing first play and first map coming out from both teams. Whew. This is taking a lot out of me. Blue. Okay. Sorry, I just got a message saying it's Blue, not Bluth. My apologies. So Blue, good job on there, Winston. But I mean, honestly though, who would have imagined that Chrysalis would have been able to pull out a full hold? Rising Lotus was not able to get a tick. That's amazing. You really haven't seen much of that since Overwatch 2's come out. It seems like the 5v5 just kind of prevented that from happening, but you know, Chrysalis had a really amazing stall. Mike was able to stay, you know, alive on the Reaper while Red was keeping them over on the Lucio. And the Red, honestly, I think it might have been just a little bit of luck that the Reaper, Kami was not able to find that last shot when she was just down to 1 health. So that's really huge. But here we are. We're going on to Shambali. Oh, yes. Everyone loves this map. Sniper lane galore. And it's going to come down to probably who can take off the quicker off angles and get more advantage. Now, we do see that Rising Lotus is going to be on attack here. They're running the Mercy this time and a Baptiste. This is actually the first time we've seen in a minute where a team did not run a Kiriko. And thanks to that, probably that change we had earlier this week, that's probably why we'll be seeing it. But I do like seeing the Ashe. That means the Mercy is going to get a little more value. You do have a Hanzo, so you have the potential one-shot without the damage boost. And both teams are doing the same thing, except for you're trading a Junkrat versus a Hanzo. So we'll see the Shimada brothers able to pull out the rat as far as the poke damage goes. Alright, so early start. Starly just wasting a shield while Rising Lotus is coming up on this left. And they do seem to see it. Chrysalis does see it coming out and try to use the natural cover to keep them out of the fray just as they're trying to take the poke damage. And Vulcan finding Mr. Mike. That is not good, but Red does find the res onto the Ashe, and that's great. And the early dynamite getting almost all of Chrysalis burning. Now, Rising Lotus was able to get it to this corner, but they're still not able to find another pig. Immort's coming out from the side of Chrysalis, keeping them alive. Mystic's trying to find an early angle, a little flank angle on this Junkrat. But Rising Lotus has the advantage right now in this fight. Still not using their immortality. Huge rock come from Starry. Both Sigmas use the rock and the E and have the backup. I mean, there's just a lot of ground coming off of Chrysalis. You know, Rising Lotus right now has just been pushing this car for free. There's not been really too much happening. I mean, they found one pig, but it's just not enough. And here we are, the Sigmas once again colliding with the same abilities. Finding the call. Oh, Kami able to escape with that jump. Huge save coming out, and here comes the window from TT on Chrysalis. Is Mystic able to find any damage? No, because they're able to play back in the corner. Mike, though, does find a great dynamite onto the Baptiste. It's going to force that res coming out from Pink, but Pink's not going to be able to get it. Oh, yep, good rock coming out from Starry. Able to get it. Kami has to back out, and it looks like Chrysalis is finally able to stop this advance onto the side of Rising Lotus. Interesting take. Chrysalis took a very slow start, kind of just rotated with it. And I mean, they gave up a lot of space there, but it was kind of worth it at the end because now they have an easier time holding. They can hold that corner a lot easier. Kami's not going to be as much value on this Hanzo as long as he doesn't find any like nice early picks here with the Sonic arrow. So great play coming from the side of Chrysalis. Looks like they're starting to engage again on the corner. The Creation comes out from blue, but doesn't find anything. But a huge bomb finding miss on it, and it looks like right now Bulk is just doing domination, just coming around on the flank, able to find so much. Now the bomb has come down from the side of Mr. Mike and is taken out by blue. It looks right now Rising Lotus might be able to finally take this first point, but it depends. Bulk does not find Mike on the rooftop. And Kami's just, you know, putting that pressure in, and finally Red goes down, which means Mike will come down, and it looks like that will be the first point for Rising Lotus. That was a great push coming from Rising Lotus. I think Chrysalis needs to start kind of re-strategizing their play here because they keep giving up way too much room and allows too much flank. As soon as someone goes down, Rising Lotus is able to capitalize on it. It's so easy. But great early pick from Mystic right there. It's going to force out the res probably here. And here comes the tire just to kind of slow it down even more. The res does come out, but there is immortality, and it looks like it has been used. CT was able to destroy it, and will the tire be able to find somebody? Yes, it does. So right now it looks good for side of Chrysalis on this early fight. They're able to get the pig, force the res, get the immortality, and get another pig even after the res comes out. And Rising Lotus is going to have to back out of this fight and regroup as they are down the Baptiste. Great pig. I mean, what a great fight from Mystic. He was able to use the tire to find the pig. CT was able to take care of the immortality, and he was able to get the early pig. So it looks like Rising Lotus is now going to go on this coast, trying to change it up, get rid of the high ground disadvantage they had against Chrysalis. CT throwing an early window here, getting blue early, but the dragon coming out from the side of Rising Lotus, not able to find anybody. Got a little tick damage, but not too much. And it looks like Chrysalis is able to hold their own here, just trading the ult roll. Here comes Starry. Oh, the rock missed. Blue just barely missing Starry's feet on there. And Starry able to find the Baptiste. Now the res will be able to come out. The coach gun not enough to keep Starry off, and as she goes down, it looks like Rising Lotus will finally be able to start pushing here on second point. Yeah, that was a great rotation call from Rising Lotus. They realized they weren't going to have an advantage going up the hill with the Junkrat, so going to the coast, allowing themselves having more of an even level fight really gives them the advantage. Plus, I mean, Chrysalis had to use a lot of ults there. Now they're coming up with Bob and Valk, and they have to deal with the Flex on the side of Rising Lotus. Rockstone early coming here from Starry, able to find Blue. Blue not being able to find Starry. And it looks like CT able to punish the Mercy for the res. So right now it's a 5v4 in the favor of Chrysalis. Huge rock coming out from Starry, knocking Blue back. It looks like Rising Lotus will have to kind of play it slow. But no, Blue says no, I'm going to pop it. The ball comes out, the Flex gets the bomb, and able to get Mike, but no follow-up. Well, thanks to the window, Kami and Volk able to find the kill on the Bob and Starry on the Sigma. It looks like they're able to pull out this 4v5 in their favor thanks to these ult combos. Chrysalis having to back up, try not to get picked late here as they're trying to regroup here. Although it looks like, yeah, Mystic is caught out, trying to get that late pick onto the Baptiste coming from spawn, but it's not worth it. Right here and now, it looks like it will be Rising Lotus getting second point here on Shambali. All they have to do is take care of Starry, who's stalling amazingly, just being absolutely ignored. The immortality helping just a little bit, keep him alive, but it won't be enough. Rising Lotus should get this, just finding pick after pick. It's just cherry picking for the Rising Lotus here. Chrysalis will have to give up the second point, but it was a great stall point. Now with a minute 40 seconds left just to capture the final point here on Shambali for Rising Lotus. But as much as a good fight that was, it was honestly in better favor for Rising Lotus because now they have the better ult economy. I mean, yes, you see Chrysalis is coming up on a few ults themselves, but since it's going to have to wait till mid-fight, it's just going to be a poke fight. The early bot comes out from Volk, is able to find red. Oh, that's a big thing. But the tire from Mystic, I even hear it being popped, was able to find not only the Mercy Baptiste and Hanzo, which turned the fight around. Vulcan trying to keep it alive, getting two, but it's not going to matter with a team kill. Starry finishing off Rising Lotus. What a massive slowdown. We're coming to last fight territory, and it only took one ult difference right there for Chrysalis to slow them down. Now the Sigmas do have the fluxes available and the window available for CT, so it's going to matter if the Dragon Flux is going to be better for Rising or if Starry's just going to get more value on the Flux as well. Big dynamite coming out from Mike, getting two of the players of Rising Lotus, kind of forcing a little slowdown, cooldown, and a big rock coming onto Blue. Early immortality taken out from the side of Chrysalis, and it looks like it might not be good mid-fight. The Dragon comes out, it's able to split the teams up, but it's not able to find enough to damage someone to death. The window comes out from CT Mystic, finding Blue, and a huge rock coming out from Starry, stopping the res and also taking out the mob. It looks like Chrysalis will be able to hold them just off of point 3 of Shambali. Wow. What an amazing Shambali we have seen so far.
Score.
Like I said, Chrysalis looked like they were struggling a little bit on the first point, just giving up a little too much room. And then Rising Lotus had a game strategy coming into second point. Once they realized that going up the normal way wasn't enough, and they did get the cart far enough where it didn't matter. Just going that coast and even playing field as far as the level goes of high ground and low ground. But just a massive tire coming out from Mike. I think that was the game changer. I think if Mike was not able to find the value he did on that tire, we probably could have seen Rising Lotus getting that third point. But now it is Chrysalis' turn on the attack. We'll see what they're going to run here. We see, Rising Lotus still running the same strat of the Mercy with the Baptiste, Ashe, Hanzo, and Sigma. And we actually see Chrysalis doing the same thing. Maybe they feel that the Junkrat is going to have a harder time shooting uphill versus the Hanzo, which I think is fine. Mystic has known to be a great Hanzo player besides his Junkrat, so as long as he can find a good rhythm, I think Chrysalis has a really good chance taking map number 2 here.
Hello.
Let's get this show on the road.
I'm here to support.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna need some tea after this for my throat.
4, 3, 2,
Alright.
1. Attackers incoming.
Spawn doors do open up. Dynamite coming out is not able to find any connection, which is fine for the side of Chrysalis. And now they're just going to slowly push. Looks like they're going to do the same strat going in the right building room. But the difference here is Blue is actually going to meet them early. So now Mist has just got to play alone for even longer. He gets huge dynamite onto him. Almost taking him out, but the card able to keep him out. But Mr. Mike getting caught out by Kami. It looks like right now Chrysalis might need to slow down and regroup if they lose one more. And sure enough, they are going to back out and just kind of survive until they get Mike back on the Ashe.
Let me see what I can do.
Amazing play from this Mercy player, just absolutely brilliant with the damage boost coming out on the side of Rising Lotus. Dynamite trying to find any value, does not. Vulcan just trying to make sure they're watching the flanks because the communication there. Oh, Mike doesn't need that Mercy pocket to find it. Tries to get something with the Dynamite, not able to find anything, but Mist able to take out Pink before the rest came up. It looks like Mist is popping off. Here we go, like I was saying before, ladies and gentlemen. And Mist is just an absolute dominateur on this Hanzo. And finally looks like Chrysalis is going to be able to make it past the first corner. Probably the first two corners. Maybe get up to that second corner where Rising Lotus was able to get to with no problem on their first entire push. Now, right now, the only ult available is red, so right now, Chrysalis could be aggressive, but Vulcan takes out Mr. Mike super early. You don't need that if you're on the side of Chrysalis. This is going to be a hard fight. The red does come out. Story is stopped from using Accretion by Blue's Accretion. Well, able to find the Mercy even though the Immortality was out. Ooh, that's rough for Chrysalis. They're going to have to back out here now that they've lost their Mercy and have no chance of making this an even fight, and that's a big play coming from the side of Rising Lotus. They now have 4 ults online where Chrysalis is only going to have 3. And here comes, looking for an early pick with the Flux, not able to find anybody. Mike was able to, and ooh, Kami, nicely taken out by Mist on the Hanzo diff right there. What a big play coming in from this Hanzo Chad. Trying to get that side angle, just getting them pushed back, and without the res being able to get there. It looks like the early Bob coming out, trying to even the playing field. Immortality used from the side of Chrysalis gets taken out, but Mist taking out the Bob right now. It is still, window comes out, and the Dragon. Is either team going to get value from this? No, the Immortality is forced on the side of Rising Lotus. It's taken out by Mr. Mike, and it looks like Chrysalis is just able to freely push it without it. Story has the Flux available, pops it open as soon as he saw that Flux came out. Is able to find Kami on the Hanzo, is able to take it out, which makes it an up one fight now that the res came out of Mist. But the window comes out, forcing Story to back out. She's used to eat, and here comes the res. Elf, CT, and Story able to find Pink. It looks like Chrysalis might be able to finally take it, and they will be able to take this first point and have 3 minutes and 27 seconds. What a great push from Chrysalis, but honestly a decent hold coming from Rising Lotus. It wasn't an easy push for them. They were forced to use a lot of ults. Both teams though had to waste their whole ult economy just to keep that fight alive as long as it was. And CT being a dominateur DPS support player, just getting early picks all in the game. We saw this last week in their earlier match. You really got to keep an eye out for that kid. Yeah. Now with the ult economy gone, it's just going to be playing poke for Chrysalis, trying to build it back. I mean, you got to think the Sigma on the other side probably closer to Flux since they popped this so early. And here comes the Bob setup for Vulcan. So, you know, right now, Rising Lotus has the ult economy in their favor. Chrysalis is just coming back up on the support ult, so you know CT and Red are putting a lot of ult. Here comes the Bob from Vulcan, able to lift up CT, forcing the Immortality. It gets taken out early, and right now it's not looking too hot. Kami able to find Mist in the background, Blood taking out Mr. Mike, and Kami finding CT. Trying to get this Moth up in the air, but Red is able to dodge it with that Guardian Angel. Sorry, he needs to back out, but is getting caught out by the Rock. It looks like, yep, there goes Red, just trying to keep Sorry alive, and it looks like Chrysalis is going to stagger themselves out. 2 minutes left on this attack. That's not a bad fight though for Chrysalis. They are able to force out the Bob. If they could have got one more ult, it would have been a greater fight for them, but they did have to waste the Valve. So now it's going to come down. They're trying this rotation, or at least that's what Rising Lotus thinks. But it actually looks like they're going to do a nice little split, little 2-3 split. Kami trying to keep Mystic from getting that off angle and gets a nice pick thanks to the Sonic Arrow. Starry's going to go for the res, gets the res off, but it doesn't matter when Starry gets taken out. Chrysalis is going to have to back out once again. And here comes the Dragon coming out. Maybe Mist is thinking I might not swap off this Hanzo. It's not doing us any justice right here. Ooh, blood does fall down. Maybe CT is able to find any help. And they are. They're going to be able to force out the immortality. They're not able to get the Sigma. But that's not bad. Kami does find CT though, but Mystic does get the trade off. Blood once again evens the fight out into their favor, but it's going back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. Mystic and Blue just trying going back and forth on these picks, but Mystic finally taking the advantage of that Hanzo Storm Arrow, able to put it back, and that's going to force Rising Lotus to back out.
Healing stream connected. I get the idea.
I mean, the trades coming from Chrysalis and Rising are just amazing. You think one team's gonna have the advantage, and then someone on the other team is just like, nah, I'm gonna re-energize it back towards us. Dragon comes out from Kami and the window as well. Able to find one, and so is Volt. And Star gets shut out too, unfortunate. And it looks like this might be it for the Shambali Chrysalis. Just looks like it might be a strat difference, or in this case, an old economy difference. And with that, map 2 is going to go into the favor of Rising Lotus. What a great matchup. We're 1-1 right now, with Rising Lotus taking Shambali against Chrysalis. We're going to go to a quick halftime, and we come back. We'll have a very special message for you all, and we'll get right back into the gaming. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So just a real quick update for those who are just now joining us. We have Chrysalis versus Rising Lotus. The score is tied 1-1. So it looks like we will be getting that fourth map tonight. So, God bless me for the solo cast tonight. But real quick, before we hop into map 3, I have a quick announcement about the playoffs from our Commissioner Storm. So, how the playoffs are going to work for Season 1 of the Crossfade Gaming Tournament. As he mentioned at the start of the season, we are working through multiple methods of how to handle the playoffs, which is a challenging situation in an open division style tournament. What we have come up with, though, is what we believe to be the most fair way of handling the playoffs for our first season. We believe working closely with our esports mathematics, and this is our plan. The top 10 teams will make the playoffs. We will determine those top teams and seedings mathematically. Each team will be assigned points determined by your own team's SR and the SR of the teams you defeated. Those points are balanced in according with SR value. I myself am not a mathematician. Well, neither is he. But it makes sense, and it's a very fair way, and it explains to me in the detail by our math guy. Basically, a hypothetical way to explain this is this. With our current system, a 5-0 bronze team wouldn't beat a 4-1 GM team to the playoffs. I mean, are you really a GM if you lose to a bronze team? Oof. All right. As everything in this inaugural season, we are open to feedback and we'll see how this goes. I would also like to take a quick second to thank each of the players and GMs who have been participating this season. It has been a bumpier road than anticipated through multiple unexpected and unforeseen circumstances. I think we all know what he's talking about there. But thanks to each of you, we've been able to have a successful and enjoyable tournament so far that I can't wait to see develop even more. Thank you, and let's have a great rest of the season. All right, so now after that little message there, now everyone has a good kind of sense of what's going to happen postseason. Let's get on to our next map. Coliseum, the push map for the centuries. Into Roma, where the great Italian and gladiators fought for years and centuries. I'm going to stop with the fake counts. Terrible. But, anywho, so right now it looks like we have loss coming in for Chrysalis. It looks like they're finally making up a little switch up. We do see Box also switching off of Mr. Red Mudkip. So we're going to see a little different lineup. They're going out here with a nice little brawl, but Mike trying to figure out what to play on. Comes out a little late, just thought they might run the Genji, but decided to go with the Junkrat, and this will be the first time we've seen Mike on the Junkrat. Alright, both teams early meet up. Fire Strike from Lost doesn't find any connection. Neither the second one is able to find one. CT getting an early pick onto Roar, forcing out, and Wraith coming out on Kami, and it's going to be a chase down coming from this Brawl team of Chrysalis. They're having to back out, just playing close to the bot, playing safe. They got the early pick, and they're able to push it nice and gently right now, while Rising Lotus is waiting for the Cure to come back. The fight continues on with Blue trying to get some early picks. Char's not able to find any connection, but does get lost where they need to be, forcing Blue to back out. The Wraith is forced onto Mike, and right now, as far as cooldowns goes, it looks like Rising Lotus has a little bit of advantage. The Soldier and E not able to find any damage. They're just slowly poking at each other, forcing bubbles and breaking shield, and both getting caught out in the backline, getting taken out once again. Oh, Lost finding another one with a pin onto Pink, and Kami getting taken out by the counterpart of Mist. It looks like Chrysalis is going to be able to early push this. This is really looking good for the side of Chrysalis. Rising might need to think about some switch-ups. The Soldier is not a bad pick, but yep, here we go. The Winston switching over to the Reinhardt. It looks like it might be a little easier. Now, we do have Overclock on the side of Rising Lotus. If they're able to find out the value that they have on like on Midtown, it might be used. But a fat shatter doesn't happen except for finding Pink. The rest was able to be blocked off. Kusune trying to keep it up. Miss able to get some advantage, and it's going to be an early free push onto Chrysalis. They're able to find that objective, but they're going to back out here because they did lose their Reinhardt, so it's probably a good idea to try to push it as much as they can to maybe die on bot. And Box, yep, sure enough, able to find it. The Lucio with the help of Miss. Good beat coming out, keeping Box alive, keeping Miss alive, forcing this fight to keep turning in the side of the favor of Chrysalis. And Rising Lotus just gotta keep backing up because they keep losing one after another. Mike getting this tired, coming out, trying to see if they can keep the staggering to continue. Going a nice little route here. Sees that the soldier knows, dodges the fire strike. What an amazing dodge. Suzu does come out, but Volk was able not to get the cleanse, and CT able to get Volk there. So what a great play coming out from Chrysalis. Just, it's been a non-stop push on the side of Chrysalis. They haven't really had to slow down. They've been rotating ults really well. But now it's starting to come to an economy diff, and here comes the rush from the side of Rising Lotus and pushing them back. Finally, they're able to slow down. Oh, but the shadow was stopped. The Rhine diff coming out from Lost here. Now Chrysalis is able to also find the pick, second pick, and it looks like it's going to be another free push. It looked like Rising finally found their cure for this disaster that's coming onto the side of Coliseum, but it's still just a non-stop push on the side of Chrysalis. All the ults were in their favor, but they had to use so many ults and got absolutely no value. And Volk just trying to get these flank angles, but keeping pushed back. Not able to get too much value on the soldier. And here it comes, Mystic looking for a nice Death Blossom. Had to back out, unfortunate. Beat does come out, and the rush comes out with a fat shatter. Able to find the Lucio once again. And the Suzu out, which means free Death Blossom for Miss. Able to take out the Reaper and help Lost just do enough damage with Box onto Blood, and with that, Chrysalis just absolutely dominating this push non-stop. It's just trying to hold on to dear breath like myself for Rising Lotus, switching over to the stall, but Lost is just spawn camping along with the Blues trying to survive long enough, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, once again, Lost is just absolutely taking care of it, and with that, looks like Chrysalis able to absolutely domineer the push map. Chrysalis now going up 2-1 against Rising Lotus. Whew. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is my personal invitation. If anyone wants to try their hat in the side of casting, please reach out to me or Storm. And with that being and with that being said, we're going to Ilios for our last map. Ooh.
Now arriving at
Not bad as your throat starts sore.
ready for battle.
Little hot toddies for later, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Good old King of the Hill. Now we do see that Lost is running this Reinhardt once again, and I don't think that's a bad call. Absolutely just a domineering force against Rising Lotus. We do see Blue coming out on the Junker Queen, which is not something we got to see for the last few months. Thanks to some buffs, she's finally making a rise back. But I don't know if it's going to be enough considering what the damage they're running. I mean, the Torbjorn and the Mei, are they really going to be able to get... I can see the Mei getting some value, but I just don't see how Kami can get too much value on the Torb. Maybe they just felt like they're getting destroyed by, you know, Mystic on the Reaper, so they're like, hey, Torb's a good counter to the Reaper. Maybe we can help out. So early rotation from both teams as Chrysalis takes the inside, but Rising trying to take the outside and forced to use cooldown. Pink? I guess fell off the map, unfortunately, and Mike finding both the Brigitte. Interesting combination running the dog support line there with the Brigitte. I don't think that's going to be enough considering the brawly method of Chrysalis right now. They really should probably switch it up. Maybe go to the Baptiste, maybe an Ana or Kiriko, but maybe the Kiriko's not feeling it. But right now, it looks like Chrysalis is just found their rhythm and groove, and they're just taking on. Mike getting some early poke here, trying to get some of the... Gets the Mei and the Junker Queen very low. Forces the shout out, and they're backing out, but it's not enough. Red is able to get Blue The wall does cut off some of Chrysalis, but it has to get taken out early. Now, Aurora was able to take out Mystic on the Brigida. It looks like this fight is going to continue on, but it's just going to get absolutely dominated when running into Lucio Ryan. And with that, Rising Lotus is going to have to back out once again. You know, for those of you who watch the Overwatch League, I feel like Jake OW right now with how much I'm just constantly trying to keep up with my own mind. Alright, so we do see the switch over to the Ramacha, which is a great counter pick to this Reinhardt that's been giving them trouble. I still think the Torbjorn is not enough, but they are coming close to that multi-core, so maybe they're thinking of the combination with the Blizzard. A little hot and cold. Blue forced to use all the cooldowns as Lost is just walking right on top of them. The tire comes out from Mr. Mike. Is able to find anybody? Is able to find Volk on the Mei and forcing them back. Miss able to get Kami and take out the turret. And it looks like once again Chrysalis is just in the right mindset of what to play and where to focus. They're using really great ult tactics here. Mystic is just dominating on this Reaper here. And I mean they're pushing to the spawn. There comes out the Kasune rush. It looks like there's not going to be a touch coming from the side of Chrysalis. Death Blossom does find the Kiri and also finds the Ram. And with that, 100-0 here on Ilios Ruins. Yeah, Chrysalis, that was their map. I mean, it looks like ever since the halftime, that whatever discussion they had with their amazing coach, who clearly was here for the whole night, just told them, hey, you can rush them down, just rush them down, and boom. We're seeing it so far. We really got to see some switch-ups coming on for Rising Lotus if they want a chance at winning this. And here we do see a Pharah coming out with the Mercy Pocket and switching over to the Orisa, which once again I think is a great counter pick to the Reinhardt. But I think the Torb is where they're falling off. They're just not getting enough damage, and okay, there we go. So we switch over to the Tracer here. Maybe now with the pressure from the Tracer, they'll be able to alleviate from Mystic flanking on the Reaper. Alright. Volk trying to get some early damage pick. Chrysalis realizing the pharmacy's out, so they play into the cage, trying to split it to a 5v4 in their favor without knowing that Kami is in the back on the Tracer. Gets Mike to half, but Mike's able to bounce out. Ooh, early pick onto Red. This isn't going to be good for Chrysalis, but Mike able to trade. And looks like he's not going to be able to get the res either. Kami trying to stall out from Chrysalis, getting this point, almost backcaps it behind them. But it's not going to be enough, forces the recall out, and it looks like Chrysalis is just trying to stall it out. Lost able to find Aurora on it, and with this, Rising Lotus is probably just going to have to fight for ult and try to get as much. Ooh, Lost almost gets into the well there. Blue trying to get a cheeky kill there, but unfortunately the Ryan's passive was just too much for it. That was a great pick coming out from Mike, taking out the counterpart of the Pharah. I mean, you lose red early, which is not good for the side of Chrysalis, but taking out the Pharah and preventing the red screen to happen, absolutely brilliant. Now Volk just above them, raining damage from above. Not able to find any picks right now, but able to put a lot of pressure, a lot of damage in, forcing the rotate. Kami once again trying to do this back cap and just trying to force it. Big pin coming out from Lost, but unfortunately Volk is just doing so much damage with this Mercy Pocket. Able to find two, Kami finding the clean up onto CT, and it looks like Rising Lotus will be able to rotate the map towards their favor and showing that they're not what we saw on Ruin. Now we do have 4 ults, well 3 ults coming up from the side of Rising Lotus, and we do see Lost switches over off of the Reinhardt to a D.Va to kind of put some pressure on there, and Mist actually and Red follow up on their own pharmacy. So now it's going to be determined who's going to get the more value on the pharmacy. Are we going to watch the pharmacy duel, which we are seeing, and Mist already finding one shot but not able to finish off, but does force a pushback. Pulsar was using the background, not able to find anything. Here comes the Barrage, not able to find out, and Pink actually getting called out, trying to help Volk get that damage in. It looks like here comes the Kasune rush from Chrysalis. They're able to finally push back Blue on this Orisa. Blue trying to knock someone into the well, but Lost is not the target you want. Misses the Javelin and just forced on the point, just stalling as long as they can. And finally, this clean comes out the TP, but Mike just cleaning up everything. And it looks like Chrysalis will be able to turn this map right back into their favor at 39 to 56.
Like a gentle rain.
That was a big fight. I mean, you only had one ult from the side of Chrysalis come out, and you had both DPS ults not able to find any value. Now they do have to worry about the rush for Chrysalis has to worry about the rush coming from the side of Rising Lotus here, and with the Orisa ult as well, they can get a nice little combo damage. We do see that the Pharah switched over to the Echo, and here comes the tire from Mike trying to see if they can find somebody, and they're able to. Yes, they're able to find the Echo after they got traded by the Akiri, but big barrage coming in from Mike, able to shut down this fight. I mean, honestly, that tire was smart. It was able to get the Echo off the map, which means there's no res possible, so even with the trade happen, it's still looking good for Chrysalis. And there we go, both DPS ults from Chrysalis able to find value. Now the only ult they have to contest this next fight, which could become the last fight if they're able to find the picks, is Lost and his Diva Bomb. Blood's going to have to look for a good opening. Here comes the Kusune rush. The bomb comes down, is able to find the Mercy. CT gets the Kiriko, which means right now Chrysalis has the advantage having all the support. Red does get taken out by Volk, but Volk will be taken out by Lost. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Chrysalis finds their first win here tonight against Rising Lotus. Whew. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to do a great analyst, but right now it just looked like the game plan was set and matched for Chrysalis. They were able to really do a great job with the ult economy. They were able to bounce back after that slightly devastating Shambali and just dominate the rest of the night. With that being said, I have been your lovely play-by-play and color cast Gizmo Charmander with our amazing producer Storm, and I hope, as far as the production side goes, it looked better tonight. We'll be looking forward to seeing you guys next week on Sunday at 8:30. And for those of you who play tomorrow or had to reschedule, good luck. We'll catch y'all later.